I think some of the toughest news that we've had to face this week is the loss of, oh my goodness, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. When I first heard the news, all I could say was no, no, because he's one of the most wonderful human beings that has walked this earth. I've known Malcolm, gosh, I've been friends with his mom for 40 years. I've known him since he was about 14. I watched him develop into a beautiful, beautiful man. I mean, just a good person, a consummate artist. He was a jazz musician, a poet. Of course, he was Theo and a great actor, but he was just a good human being. A good man. You would want a brother like that. You'd want a son like that or a dad like that. He was just a consummate gentleman. I had the opportunity to interview Malcolm and his mom, and also the great actress Denise Dowse, who was directing Malcolm in his one-man show at the time of this interview. This will give you an insight on who he was as a son, who he was as an artist from the women we speak with, but then we talk with Malcolm himself. Now, the quiet thing is, I've always had a crush on Malcolm, and I used to say to Pam, his mother, all the time, my goodness, I might have to turn my cougar on if he wasn't your son. He was wonderful. And so please enjoy this interview and get some insight into Malcolm-Jamal Warner, the man we all love, and may he rest in power.
Drum roll. We have somebody so wonderful who's going to spend this hour with us, Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Now, I know you're thinking Theo on the Cosby Show. Well, honey, he ain't Theo anymore. He's a grown man and a good guy. He's one of the good ones, ladies. And he is coming in here to talk about his brand new one-man show. He wrote and directed it. He does poetry or spoken word. And you will be amazed at what he is able to talk about through rhythm and, because he's also a jazz musician. So Malcolm has a jazz band. He's doing the spoken word. He looks incredible. I mean, dreadlocks down the back, big old muscly arms. And his one-man show is called Love and Other Social Issues. You may be surprised at what Malcolm has to say about relationships and about what it's like just being a man in today's world. It'll be a good insight for us ladies, for sure. And behind every great man, there is a tremendously wonderful mom. And Pam Warner, Malcolm-Jamal's mom and manager and producer of his show, is going to be with us as well. And the director is going to join us, a woman who you have seen. Do you remember the woman who played the principal in 90210? Well, Denise is going to be here as well. So we're going to have a good wrap up of a really exciting new program that Malcolm-Jamal Warner is involved in. Let me give you a little sneak preview of some of Malcolm's great work.
If I admitted to being scared every time I was, would I still be the man you want? Is sensitivity what you really want?
Yes, Malcolm, yes!
Just a guess. 'Cause baby, I confess, I just don't know. If I acquiesced to your every whim because my heart told me to, would that be man enough?
Oh, yes, Malcolm, that would be man enough. That would be man enough. Okay, I put on lipstick. I know he's coming in. Martine, my board operator, is like, why are you putting on lipstick? You never put on makeup. It's like, because Malcolm's coming in. And this whole studio is about to light up because my friends are coming in here. Malcolm-Jamal Warner has done so many wonderful things since we were Googling him at Theo in the Cosby Show. Well, he's a grown man now and a sensitive man, and he's got a lot to say about the world in his poetry, through his jazz, and through his words right after this.
'Cause baby, I confess, I just don't know. If I acquiesced to your every whim because my heart told me to, would that be man enough?
bold radio for women, it's Rolonda.
Most people, when you ask them what they think of when they think about sex or what that means to them, they'll say intercourse. And then when you ask them what that means, it usually means, a little hugging and kissing, a squeeze here and there, and then one person, preferably the woman, has an orgasm, and then the man has an orgasm, and then everything is wonderful.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Right, and you know what? It really doesn't work that way.
And that's why we're not having sex in America.
There's more Rolonda next. Talk, listen, connect.
I hope you're enjoying this edition of the Rolonda podcast, Rolonda On Demand. And we are speaking with Malcolm-Jamal Warner and his mom, Pam Warner, coming up. If you're enjoying this episode, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel and tell a friend. Now, let's get back to the show.
And I can't help it.
All right, now you are listening to Malcolm-Jamal Warner. I know, girl. He's not Theo anymore from the Cosby Show. He's a long way from that. And he is doing wonderful things. A new one-man show that he wrote, directed, wrote and produced. He did everything on the thing. He just, love and other social issues, and he's doing dynamite things. But before we get to Malcolm, now we all know behind every great man, there's a mama. And she happens to be a very dear friend of mine, so I can talk like that. This is Pam Warner, who is not only Malcolm's mother, but she produced this show that he's doing, and she has been his manager for all these. Boy, he has just grown into a fine man, Pam.
Thank you, Rolonda. Yes, he has. He's done very well for himself. He's made some really great choices with his life, and he's had a good life. He really has, yeah.
He is so strong in his writing, in the way that he does his spoken word and poetry. He talks about a lot of really deep things.
Absolutely.
About being a sensitive man and ask the question of a woman, would you still love me if I cried?
Right.
And how tough it is to be a man today. I mean, what do you teach a man, a boy like that, to grow up to be a man who is so in touch with himself that way?
Rolonda, I think just that, always keeping his focus inside and always looking at himself, making him responsible for whatever choices he may make, be it on the playground or in class or, the initial dating thing. You just be clear about your intentions and understand what your responsibilities are, and always go within and examine your behavior. I taught him a lot of self-analyzing and just looking at himself, and I think that combined with his father being rather militant, and sending him materials throughout his life, even when he didn't even understand what it was he was sending him, and just keeping that social consciousness there. I think his father was quite responsible for that.
Very influential on him.
Very, 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 yes.
Yeah, because this whole one-man show, Love and Other Social Issues, deals with so much that especially young black men are dealing with today.
I think men, period. I think men deal with the idea of what a man is supposed to be as opposed to who this man really is. And there can be a conflict there. And in one of those pieces he says, sometimes I think you may be watching too much TV because of the images. And people absorb those images and project them onto other people and think that that's what a man is supposed to be. When a man is a man, however he shows up, that's who he is.
That's who he is. That's right. How do you deal with all those women after him? Because girl, I was putting on lipstick. Now, I know it's your child and you're my girlfriend, but he's fine.
And you know what? And he is old enough. I don't even deal with it. I think
would I have to ask you to take him out?
Not at all. In fact, I'm going to tell him, you better call Rolonda.
Rolonda's getting a little frisky. But who knew? Because we've known each other for a long time, ever since he was a little boy, and it's just amazing. No.
Yeah, no.
So how do you keep the girls off of it?
I don't. That's not my province any longer. He's of age, and he's single, and, whatever.
Let me tell you this. When you're a great performer, as Malcolm is, there's always a great director behind you as well. And in this one-man show, Love and Other Social Issues, there's a dynamite director behind him. a lot. I got to give the kudos. And it's a woman director, Denise Dowse. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Rolonda.
Now, you may know Denise as being the vice principal what was her name? Teasley
Teasley.
on Beverly Hills 90210. But I see this lady a lot out here in Hollywood. This is one working woman. I see her in an audition. I'm like, okay, it's time to go the other way. But she's been in blockbuster films such as Ray and Coach Carter. And this project was so well done. I mean, because Malcolm is playing with his jazz band, he's playing his bass, then he takes stage and does his performance. And it's very engaging. What was the whole vision? How did this come about?
Ooh, well, it was Pam's idea to take his poetry and put it on stage, and Malcolm and I looked at her like, what? And so she just kept talking to us about it, and we all knew how powerful the pieces were. So in the course of conversations and what we wanted to share with the audience, we went through the different pieces of poetry that he had written, and we selected, I think we started with 12 pieces, and it's grown into 15, I believe it is now. But we started there, and we tried to paint the picture. And, spoken word is done in front of a microphone. And so what I wanted to do was take him off the microphone, take him out of that rhythm and that spoken word poets often have, and actually have him talk to the audience rather than at them. And so in that way, we get to experience a piece of Malcolm that most spoken word artists don't allow us in to see. And so we just started to develop it that way, and a lot of conversation, a lot of head banging back and forth. But
I was going to say, is he easy to work with?
He's a dream. Yeah, he's very pliable. And when we started, both of us were trying to figure out how to do this.
It's so seamless. It's so well done.
Yeah, I just dropped it in their laps. Okay, now this is the idea. You guys go and do it, because both of them are so creative. And I knew they could do it. I knew it could be done. Denise is a fabulous director and as well as a fabulous actress. And I so trust her sensibilities. And she does all of Malcolm's coaching when he's auditioning. And for the most part, he books just about everything. Why he would not book it is because they want a totally different type. But in terms of hitting it and being the one, Denise does it for him every time. She gets in there. Yeah.
Well, listen to this. And when we come back, Pam Warner is also the master negotiator. I want to know about some of those deals she's cutting. We'll be right back on the Rose Show after this.
She hates to eat alone and I can't sleep at night. I miss her like I miss the adrenaline rush of drinking an ice cold strawberry crush that's turned to slush after already having it.
Bold Radio, it's Rolonda.
In my story, where I did do it one time to a guy, it's because he looked like Morris Chestnut.
Ooh.
But he was dumb as doornails.
But I think we've all done that.
Amy, my angel, I'm going to tell your mother on you.
Yeah, but if my mom saw him, Yvette, she'd be proud of me, too.
There's more Rolonda next. Talk, listen, connect.
I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Rolonda podcast. Please hit like and please subscribe to my channel. Also, if you're interested in voice acting, don't forget to check out my website at rolonda.com. That's ROLONDA.com. Go and check out my voice acting masterclass, sign up for my free webinars, and check out all the other stuff I'm doing. I hope I'll see you over there, and in the meantime, let's enjoy Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
And that's for your man who claims you as his hoe. He just don't know I got something for him if he ever beats up on you again. And even though I've got a woman, I consider you a special friend. Like, I like the way you listen when I tell you how misunderstood I am by my lady. I mean, every time I turn around, she's frowning because she thinks I'm out here being shady. It's like she's made me the bad guy before we've even begun.
You are listening to Malcolm-Jamal Warner, and he should be here at any moment. He's got a one-man show. He's all over Hollywood. He's so busy. He's got a one-man show called Love and Other Social Issues, and what you're hearing there is Malcolm's band What's it called, Pam?
Miles Long.
Miles Long. He actually plays the bass. Then he goes and does his spoken word, all of which he has written and directed and produced. And as we said, we know they're great women behind Malcolm. His mom, Pam Warner, who is also his manager, is here, as well as Denise Dowse, who is a very famous actress out here and a tremendous director, has her own school. But she directed this show that Malcolm is doing, and Pam, his mom, produced it. There he is. Come on in. Malcolm has arrived. Hi, sweetie. How you doing? Yeah, we're live. You thought how you doing, sweetie?
Why are you looking so surprised?
Excuse me, audience. I gotta
Go reapply.
I'm doing
Now, is this an actor? What? He's like, oh,
I didn't know it was live.
Malcolm, we have been playing your stuff. All of the listening audience is waiting, but we're getting the art of the deal and talking about everything else with you.
We talk about you all over.
all over.
Oh, wow.
So you just
hello,
sit there
good
and be
morning.
quiet.
How are you? Listen, one of the things that I said in doing all of this is I saw your show. I was blown away. Saw you again at the Hollywood Bowl the other day. Blew me away.
Oh, dig it. Thank you.
And I've been telling everybody he ain't Theo anymore.
Theo has left the
Theo
building.
has left the building.
Yes.
And I was in here putting on lipstick because I know you were coming.
She wants a date with you,
I want
Malcolm.
a date with you, Malcolm.
We go way back.
We
That's
go
cool.
way back.
Yes.
I know. Listen, I saw you on the side of the stage the other day talking to Bill Cosby.
Yes.
You guys are still very close?
Very, very much. Yeah. I mean, he's always been very encouraging and very supportive of all of my endeavors. Yeah. And usually when I go to the Hollywood Bowl, that's how I watch the. When I go to the Playboy Jazz Festival, that's how I watch the show from the stage.
Yeah,
hanging out with him.
I know you're acting. It's great with the music, but your writing is amazing.
Thank you, Rolonda.
Where does that come from? That's what we were talking about here. It's as if your soul has a message to say, and the words just wrap themselves around it to help package it.
Well, you know how you always hear a writer say, it was just God working through me. Mm-hmm. And as corny or as cliche as that sounds, I really feel that way. Like a lot of times when we would be rehearsing, Denise would stop me in rehearsal and say, wait a minute, go back. Look at that line. Why did you write that line? In an effort to really make me connect with the words as a person and as an actor, as opposed to just doing it as a poet. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes we'd stop and I'd look at a line and I'd say, wow, I guess I really meant that. And a lot of the times I don't, even when I think about the process and where I was when I was actually writing it, sometimes it just feels like it's a blank. Like my channel had opened and the stuff started coming through. Mm-hmm. And when you hear that, when you hear the stuff, it's like you stop and you try to take everything in that comes in at that time, because you don't know how long that channel is going to be open.
That's right.
So you just try to receive as much as you can.
Well, I believe that. I believe art is God in full swing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I
There's no
agree.
question.
I agree. I agree.
But it sounds cliche when you hear people say it, but I get it. I totally get it now.
Let's listen to another piece of yours. This one is called Keep Smiling.
Keep smiling. Girl, won't you smile for me? Keep smiling. Girl, won't you smile for me?
There she goes again, confident that she just may create a scene, strolling like she just stepped out of a magazine. But the funny thing is she's got these real wide hips, and these real full lips. The same lips she's always had. The same lips for which she used to be made to feel were bad, until big lips became the fad. And
big lips are the fad, aren't
Aren't
they?
they?
Nothing wrong with some big lips.
Right.
And what inspired that, Malcolm?
Some big lips.
Big lips.
Oh, come on, it was the hips. It was the hips.
It started with the hips.
He had two of them. One had the lips, one had the hips.
Malcolm.
It starts with the hips and then you get to the lips.
Exactly. But you know what I love about the whole show is that you really tackle some things that we don't hear a lot of men talk about.
Sure.
And the admiration that you have for women and the respect.
Sure.
The sensitivity that you grapple with in the face of a woman as a man.
Yeah,
I mean, that really got me. I was like, when was the last time we heard a guy get on stage and say, I'm sensitive, and if I cry, are you still going to love me?
Right.
Do you really go through that as a man?
You know, actually, that piece I'd written several years ago, and that was not where I was in my relationship at the time, but I knew that was a universal thing, because when you go to poetry places, most of the women have male bashing poems. Mm-hmm. The poems are about how some guys dog them out, or, you know, I want a real man, or whatever. But you really think about, you know, when women say they want, you know, they want somebody with sensitivity, but it's like the reality of it is, if a cat cried, or if a cat told you he was scared as many times as he probably was scared, you would look at him differently. Mm-hmm. You know, so it was kind of it was a universal, the theme was universal enough that I knew that not only men would get it, but women would get it too. And again, a lot of that had come as a reaction to all of these male bashing poems, because, you know, women say they want one thing, but if you give them that, they really want something else. And you know, you want a real man.
It's so true.
Well, I mean, you've got this last year, this Destiny's Child song, I Need a Soldier.
Yeah.
You know, I need a street soldier. And it was all about that, you know, that thug mentality that we're trying to combat.
That's right. And you talk of that. That was one of my favorite ones, when you talked about how the images on television and in the movies and the videos are putting so much pressure on young men.
Yeah. And you know what? And honestly, I think a lot of that comes from what I call the nice guy syndrome. Mm-hmm. You know, because growing up being a nice guy, being a good guy, you know, women tend to gravitate more toward the bad boys. Mm-hmm. So a lot of that came out of that, you know, being the voice of the nice guy. Like, it's actually cool to be a good cat.
Is it? Because you're like one of the few we know. It's hard out here for a nice guy.
But he's really an undercover bad boy.
I know. Well, now that's always nice to know, too.
I guess I'm telling too much.
That's my mother telling my business, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what the girls say.
Hey, listen, I want to know after the commercial break here about those two women who jumped on stage in the middle of your performance.
Oh, you were at that one.
Yes,
oh, my God.
We'll tell you about that right after this on Rolonda.
Like, I like the way you listen when I tell you how misunderstood I am by my lady. I mean, every time I turn around, she's frowning because she thinks I'm out here being shady. It's like she's made me the bad guy before we've even begun. And no matter how hard I try, I can't yet undo the damage that's been done.
Bold radio for women, it's Rolonda.
The minute that you get to be a young lady, they put a training bra on you. And I don't know what the breasts are training for, the Olympics, or I don't know. I mean, and then they put on a girdle on you, or some kind of wheezy panties, or you're always being told, don't shake like that, don't walk like that, that's too much. And yet it is that very shaking and moving that is necessary to sway the toxins out of that area.
There's more Rolonda next. Talk, listen, connect.
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell a friend. Follow me on all forms of social media at Rolonda Watts, ROLONDA. And check out my voice acting masterclass at Rolonda.com. Now, let's get back to Malcolm.
We are with Malcolm-Jamal Warner, his mom Pam Warner, and Denise Dowse, all of them involved in a wonderful one-man show Malcolm-Jamal Warner is doing. It's called Love and Other Social Issues. I have seen it. It is wonderful. And in fact, I haven't seen too many performances like that. I mean, it's so unique. It's like, it's really great because you've got your band going, you're playing the bass, and you have these women jumping up on the stage. So what do you do when these two women jumped up on the stage, and you would have thought, who? Where's their mama?
One was invited. The other one, I think, just lost her mind.
Right. And we were all in the audience looking back at Pam like, what's Pam doing back here?
Steaming. Denise and I steaming.
Trying to figure out how to get her off the stage.
Get off the stage. Well, she was something else. How do you handle that? Because you are getting a lot of attention.
You kind of roll with it. I mean, especially when you're doing a one-man show and you're breaking the fourth wall and all of your conversation or all your dialogue is to the audience, you kind of have to expect, especially when you have predominantly black audiences, if you talk to them,
Yeah, we're very interactive.
they're gonna talk back. Yeah, so you just have to kind of be the wonderful thing is you have to be really present, and that's the fun part. You have to be present. You have to be ready for really
You didn't
everything.
miss a trick. That's the thing that I got. And now, Denise, I got to give it to you, director, because these two women are being hoochies all up on the thing, right? And Malcolm didn't miss a trick. Just kept delivering his thing about the beauty of women while they're. But this has got to be a fun performance. How?
Yeah, and it's cool when you have support from your friends who are in the business. I don't necessarily have a lot of friends in the business, but my friends who do come out and do support, it's really a good feeling.
How'd you stay so normal in this business? Because it really is a crazy bit. I mean, listen, at home, we look at people who just lose their minds out here in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And you have been in the game for a long time. You've kept your integrity. You've got good home training. I'm gonna give that to Pam.
No doubt.
But you've turned out to be a fine man.
Bless you.
I mean that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it
What
comes
is your
from
philosophy of life? I mean,
longevity. I mean, having spent half of my life under Bill Cosby's wing, you can't help but think of longevity. Very early on, and I used to tell the story all the time. I was 13 years old. Cosby had hit, and it was it out the box was this huge phenomenon.
Amazing.
And at 13, my mother sat me down, or 14 rather. My mother sat me down and said, "It's wonderful that this show is such the phenomenon it is, but you know how this business is. This show could be over next year.
Hello.
What are you going to do when the show is over?" So from the onset, I had always looked at life after Cosby. I had always looked at wanting to have the kind of longevity that Mr. Cosby had, and understanding that when you're hot, that's the time to really bust your butt. So when you have those dry spells, you don't have to make desperate career choices.
That's
Career
so
decisions.
True.
Yeah.
That's so true. There's so many moms who are listening, Pam, who say, boy, if my son or daughter could have one piece of the career that Malcolm-Jamal Warner has enjoyed. What do you say to that mom who's talking to that 13-year-old right now?
Well, if she can have a conversation with him at 13,
First
if
of
she
all,
can find him,
if he can get off the internet.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, get him off the Game Boy.
Yeah, right.
What I would say to her is to just let the kid be a kid. If he wishes to do this and, later on he can do it. Malcolm was a kind of a different situation, and you can't put a child in that environment unless he has something within that can kind of withstand what happens in the business. So it's getting good training, knowing if your kid really has a temperament for this business, and just trying to make the right choice for the kid.
And Denise, you're an acting coach. What would you say as parents are trying to get their kids prepared? Because we look at American Idol, we look at these things, we believe our kid can do it.
Right. Well, I think that's key is the parents trying to live out their dream through their child. I think what's really important is that it's the child's decision. And their choice. And if it is their choice, train them, get them trained, put them in classes. Because once the beauty fades, if there's no talent, then where are you?
That's right.
The longevity.
That's one thing I
that.
say about being out here in Hollywood for 10 years. I really respect the people who have done the work, who do the work, who just don't say, I'm pretty, I'm here, put me in,
Because once you start, that's the telltale sign right there, particularly with parents who think they want to put their children in the business. It looks okay with television, and a couple of little sessions are cute, but when it really gets down to the nitty gritty, if the child can still sustain and still want to have an interest, then you got a winner. Otherwise, go give them trumpet lessons.
That's right. And you've heard it from a real winner here. We give it all up to you, Mama.
Thank you, Rolonda. Thank you.
And Malcolm, continued success.
Thank you so
We're
much,
so
Rolonda.
proud of
Thank
you.
you
Keep
very
it up.
much.
And, if you want to go get some popcorn or something one day, I'll go with you. Denise, thank you so much. And thank you for listening to The Rose Show today. Great. We forever love you, Malcolm.